Greetings and salutations, Michigan Ultimate Survivor League members. It is I, James L. Seegers, coming to you at the prompt morning hour of 7:06 a.m. I haven't even looked at any results. I looked at some results two nights ago, Sunday night. So I don't know what happened last night. We're going live, like our boy Bill O'Reilly. Let's do it live. I haven't even looked at these results yet. So, but I have a lot of work to do this morning, so I'm hitting right at it. Hitting the playoff tab. Let's see what happened last night. I am going to pull up another tab here just to get this going. I'll just open this in a new tab. So we have two different tabs. All right. So, giggle. Hernandez Hitman. Hernandez Hitman won 88.05 to 74.04. Putting them into the, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8. So, yes. We are in the Elite Eight now, folks. Hernandez Hitman had the best record all year. Didn't know if the off week was going to hurt him. In this league, it doesn't hurt at all, just unless you just get brain dead for a week, because you get to rest all your players. And Hernandez Hitman, led by, of course, let me go here to, we'll look at this score. Who'd they have in today, this week? Hernandez Hitman led by Deontay Johnson. Huge game, 105 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. But then also Jonathan the Man Taylor, clearly the best running back in the league, 18.15 points. And then Matthew Stafford, 16.75 points. But also Rob Gronkowski, 16.9 points. The Giggle, 74 points is nothing to cry about. Pretty good. Justin Herbert had a big day. But unfortunately, he must have got sacked a whole bunch of times because he did not get that many points. 4 times. Yeah, he was sacked 4 times. It's brutal. So, yeah, that's another thing. Keenan Allen had a big game, but unfortunately wasn't that enough as Hernandez Hitman move on to the Elite Eight. And who will they be playing? Game of Jones puts up 82.68. You Thielen Lucky Punk. Brian David's in the Elite Eight again. I'm not sure how many times he's done it. But he's done it a few times. 90.85 points for him. Again, Stafford, the Rams defense playing the Jaguars that just smoked them. Keenan Allen had a big game. Tyreek Hill totally let you down, but it didn't matter. And in Game of Jones's efforts, Derek Carr, you don't want your season down on that guy. I can tell you that much. I wouldn't. Gronkowski, Gibson, Mitchell, etc. 82 points is a very solid effort. Nothing to be ashamed of there, Game of Jones. Your first year in the league, you made it to the Sweet 16. Hey, hold your head high, man. Hold your head high. It's a good year. Sticks It In Ya comes as the number 13 seed and defeats the higher-ranked Miss Orange Man and Hot Wife. Kim's Long Dong season comes to a premature ending, if you know what I mean. Sticks it in with 96.73 points. Good to move in to the next round. He was led by, I'm going to guess, Jonathan Taylor. Yes, he did have Jonathan Taylor, but he also had George Kittle. Taste the rainbow. 25.8 points. Oh, my God. Patrick Mahomes totally let you down. I didn't watch a second of that Monday Night Football game because I had no interest in it whatsoever, so I don't know what the hell happened. But the Cardinals did good, but George Kittle's the man. And Zach Ertz for Long Dong there, 1 point. Dak Prescott, 6 points. You can't have these numbers. Justin Jefferson did what he could, 20.8, but it wasn't enough to put Miss Orange Man Hot Wife over Sticks It In Ya. So 8-3. Their season continues into the Elite Eight. Then we got Farmer. Yeah, this is a tough one. Here. FarmersOnly.com scored 109.18 points and loses to Tips and Tricks. Dominic Mulkey's got one more trick up his sleeve and barely one more point in the stat column as he narrowly defeats FarmersOnly.com, who puts up 109 points, but not enough to win. Let's look at these rosters for the week. Oh, my God. Kittle. This is FarmersOnly.com. Kittle with 25. Chris Godwin. Jonathan Taylor. Antonio Gibson, all in double digits. Matt Gay and Rams. Oh, pulled up 109.18 points. But unfortunately, touchdown Tom Brady leads tips and tricks with 22.31 points. Alexander Madison, Javonte Williams, all with double digits. And then Cooper Kupp, Rob Gronkowski, Greg Zuerlein, Cardinals. Almost every player on this team scored in double digits except for Tyreek Hill, who the other team had in, so they canceled out anyway. Didn't even hurt him. So, man, what a game. Matt Farmer, good job. I mean, you'll be alive in the playoff bracket thing when it starts the playoff challenge. So, make sure you log back into the site in a couple weeks after the playoffs end, or after the league ends, the season ends. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. And then we go down Zeke's relationship corner, the other farmer. The Farmer Bowl is no more, as neither farmer wins this week. DeWyans, Gary King proves that when it matters most, he can come up with a big victory. And he had a bye week, comes in, wins by a score of 88.38 to 72.46. Gary King, who to use this week? Oh, man, DeWyans used 3.43 points of Derek Carr. He put his season in the hands of Derek Carr, but it didn't matter because he had the Colts, who was playing the Texans, and scored 24 points as they shut him out 31-0. He also had the Gronk and Alexander Madison come up huge for him, 88.38, defeating Zeke's relationship corner, who had George Kittle in, by the way. So and Jonathan Taylor. So when you factor in those two guys, that's like half of their points. They just had absolute dud performances. Now, Adam Thielen got hurt on like the first play. He caught a pass for 0 yards and rolled his ankle. So, tough break. Pun intended. He might have broke it. I don't know. For Adam Thielen and Zeke's relationship corner. But Zeke's relationship corner gets sent home. We'll see in the playoff challenge. And then finally, not finally. There's 3 more games to go. Brady's backup, Little Cromwell season comes to an end with a 94.36 performance versus Vincent Villada, I'm sorry. I don't know where Chris Villada came from. Vincent Villada, 104.01. You score 100 points, over 100 points in the playoffs is huge because that means you still have guys or know what guys to start. And we've had 3 over 100 points this week, although one of them lost. Villada comes up with 104.1. Justin Jefferson, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Gibson, George Kittle. Again, if you started George Kittle this week, it's insane. 104 points. Dak Prescott didn't do a lot for you. Michael Pittman, he did okay. 8.5 points is actually pretty good. Just compared to some of these huge numbers, doesn't look good. And then Brady's backup, he had touchdown Tom. He had Chris Godwin. He had Austin Eckler. All these guys had great scores, but unfortunately, Mark Andrews, that 2-point conversion wouldn't have made a difference for you. But, you saw that. They went for 2. Baltimore in a borderline Dan Campbell coaching decision. Let's not talk about that 4th down decision to go for it. And then, of course, let's put the game in the hands of fucking Jared Goff, who ultimately came back and won, which is crazy, by the way. But that 4th down play was an idiotic call, idiotic decision to go for it, idiotic call to have not run the ball on 4th and 1. But still, it didn't come back to hurt him, I guess. But the Baltimore game, dude, why did you go for 2? I don't get it. Went for 2 to win versus 1 to tie, put it overtime, and they didn't get it. Primarily because Lamar Jackson threw a shitball pass to Mark Andrews, who didn't catch it, and that 2-point conversion didn't make a difference in this game. My trusty Phineas and Ferb mug from God only knows how long ago. And then we have the last 2 games here. 99% luck, 1% heart. Your luck has run out, I'm afraid. Rocky, he barely squeaked by the entire year, yet finished 8-3. And he beat my ass, so I can't say anything. Cloacal Kiss, Matty Bradley crushes him. 108 to 78.96, another 100-point performance. Cloacal Kiss, we're going to look at their score here, see who they used. And not George Kittle, but a very nice performance across the board. Matthew Stafford, Madison, Taylor, Godwin, and Jefferson all in the high double digits. 13 or higher. 20.8 for Jefferson, of course, playing the Lions, naturally. but he still didn't win. And then 49ers defense also did a pretty good job. 99% luck. Carson Wentz. Can't even. I would have started him. I thought it was a good start, but he didn't score much because whatever. Justin Jefferson for you too, and Antonio Gibson. Other than that, Graham Gano 49ers. But 78.96 is good. It's good. Look back at last week. 99% luck. Hart. 99% luck. 1% Hart scored. His opponent scored 32 points. Squeak by there. Your luck is out, I'm afraid. Cloacal Kiss moves into the Elite Eight. And then, better bring your A game. Brought his A game. Wasn't good enough because Whispering Eyes brought his A-plus game as Jason Taylor defeats Rob Jazerski by the score of 107.66 to 86.4. You score 107 points, you pretty much have to have Kittle in the game, I'm guessing. He did not. He had Mark Andrews as well, but he had Justin Jefferson and Stafford and Taylor and Madison and Godwin. Huge points. This lineup was a theme this week. So we'll see. A lot of these players were started, and a lot of these players scored, and a lot of those teams won. So we'll see what happens this week. As we look down, we'll look down at the suck bracket. We won't break these games down, but we'll just see what happens so we can show you. And the Dublin Drunks will be, Tenacious D defeats Squadrel, sending their season over. This bracket is wrong. I will fix this because I told these people do not submit a lineup this week because you'll just waste players. But the Dublin Trunks, they had a bye. They will be playing Tenacious D this week. Now You See Me Now You Don't has a bye because these people didn't submit lineups the week before. Let me ask you a question. Beat Digger Phelps, who didn't submit a lineup. This is the suck bracket. Is called the suck bracket for a reason, people, because some people, when you don't make the real playoffs, they just don't care anymore, and we hate you for it. They just don't care. They don't realize they can win free entry into next year because they don't watch the podcast. You don't watch the podcast is what you get. These people, the people who watch the podcast, are rewarded by knowing things. Knowledge is power. They say that, and it's true. And let me ask you a question. Didn't know that Digger Phelps was not going to submit a lineup. Didn't know that Digger Phelps didn't give a fuck. So Andy Plum, you had a pretty good year. It's a shame that you didn't even put in a lineup in the suck bracket. But then we have Golf and Balls, the best team in the suck bracket, defeats Malin Incorporated. Malin Incorporated. I can never. Please, somebody tell me how you say that so I can say it right. Paul Ward, send me a message, please. I don't know how to fuck say that. Golf and Balls moves on to what would be the Sweet 16 of, Sweet 16. They're a week behind because they have more players. Bleeding Blue Bombers defeated Low Hanging Fruit, 92.36, 81.48. Nantab Knights defeats Take Your Vax and Shove It because they didn't submit a lineup, even though they did submit a lineup the week before, which is really weird. Probably because the Provosts were protesting worse than the Black Lives Matter movement, which I'm sure you love so much. They didn't submit a lineup. So Nantab Knights, Michael Myers moves into the Sweet 16 of that. Concussion Protocol narrowly defeats Fly Eagles Fly by 78.65 to 75.99. Ted Lasso's Biscuit stays alive. Moves on to play Concussion Protocol. And this one here, look at this one. This is a suck bracket game where the scores definitely did not suck, as Alabama Muff Riders and Brock Davis narrowly defeats You're in Trouble by Kyle Stoker. What are you meowing at, cat? Jesus. 101.9 to 100.91. That is a close one, folks. Stop meowing. What are you meowing at? And then True Blue Wrecking Crew defeats Pay Dirt Pimps, who was in the running the entire year. Reed Osborne was in the running the entire year to get to the regular playoffs. He was finished 7-4. Does not submit a lineup and loses. Nobody cares at this point. Kakambas, they didn't submit a lineup. They didn't have to. They had a tie, so they move on. Cheechki did submit a lineup and defeated My Wife. The Mac Attack is back, so they move on to play Kakambas. I will fix these brackets here after this podcast. And then LP Rails defeated Most Known Unknown. So Jerry Bird moves on to the Sweet 16 over Justin Redding. Good job to you. And then the Sag Nasties notch above top notches. Benjamin Ira Miller, 7-4, submitted a lineup and barely wins, but moves on to the Sweet 16. Ben, I hope you come to our sweater party. You've RSVP'd as maybe. We'll see. COVID seemed to have a lot of people right now. I know a lot of people that have the vid. Don't be scared, though. We are all naturally vaccinated against such things. That's what I like to say. So that's that. So now we look at... Hello, Cassandra.
Hi.
The cat won't stop meowing. I don't know what her problem is. Anyway, so we look ahead to... Well, let's look ahead to the Sweet 16 of the Suck Bracket first, because that one doesn't mean as much, but it still means something. LP Rails taking on Sang Nasty's Notch Above Top Notches. Cheechki taking on Kakambas. True Blue Wrecking Crew. Roger Brewer taking on Brock Davis's Alabama Muff Riders. And then we have Ted Lasso's Biscuits taking on Concussion Protocol. Sounds like I just had a concussion. Concussion, not Cruncussion Protocol. Nantam Knights taking on Bleeding Blue Bombers. Golf and Balls taking on the Bloodhound. And then Let Me Ask You a Question taking on Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Frazier, now you do have to submit a lineup. And then Dublin Drunk, same with you, Jeff. Submit a lineup this week versus Tenacious D. Josh Crampton, still alive. Still alive. Disappointing season for Mr. Crampton. Thanks for the snow pants, by the way. But he still alive in the Suck Bracket. He's going to try. He's a tough owner to compete with. But, I mean, this end of the bracket right here is going to be tough. Because you've got Tom Farmer. This is the top half of the Suck Bracket. Tom Farmer, Ryan Frazier, Jeff Arbogast, and Josh Crampton. Those are your top half of the Suck Bracket. And then on the bottom half of the bracket... Wait, that's not true. Shit, this is still an extra... I forgot, there's still 16 in this. Well, that's the top half of the bracket. That's like the notch above top notch, am I right? But that is the top half of the top half of the bracket. So this quarter of the bracket, I should say, very competitive. We go up to the real moneymakers here. We go up to the muscle bracket, which is the one that plays for all the money.
All the marbles.
Most of the money, I should say. Not all the money. Most of the money we have. Jason Taylor's Whispering Eyes taking on Maddie Bradley's Cloacal Kiss. Vincent Don't Call Me Chris Velada taking on Gary King, former champion, perennial powerhouse. A lot of Veladas in his second or third year. Chance to dethrone, well, technically not dethrone, but chance to knock down a muscle Mount Rushmore potentially owner. So get your dynamite ready. Tips and Tricks, that is going to be Dominic Mulkey, which I believe this is his first year. There's so many owners I forget sometimes. Taking on Sticks It In Ya, Derek Gregory, formerly known as Team Gregor, whatever the hell his team's name was. I don't remember what we called it. But Derek Gregory versus Dominic Mulkey. And then we've got Hernandez Hitman, Antoine Bacon taking on Euthelian Lucky Punk, Brian David. So we've got, I mean there's so much awesomeness in this muscle bracket here. I mean, even though we lost both farmers and we lost well, that's all we really lost, I guess. From him. No, that's not true. I think we lost I mean, the Cromwells, they're like a dynasty family. Rocky Keeling, he's up there a lot. Rob Jazerski's perennial above average playoff team. So we lost a lot this week. Looking forward, though, we have amazing matchups coming up. So there you have it, folks. There's your playoff breakdown. Now, as you may have heard me mention multiple times, new owners, if you're watching this, if you're out of the league, I doubt, if you're out of the competition, you might not be watching this. Maybe you are, I don't know. New owners, don't forget that the season, if you're out of any of these brackets, your season is not over officially, because we give away two, not one, but two free entries into 2022. The winner of the Suck Bracket gets one, and then the winner of the Muscle Playoff Challenge, which takes place during the NFL playoffs, also gets free one. So once this whole season is over, and I will make many posts of this on the Facebook group, a new season begins week 18. So be looking out for that. All right, we'll be talking soon. Have a good one. Oh, wait, well, one more thing.
Whoa.
One more thing before we cut here. Want to stress the importance of this week for these Elite 8 teams. Do you know why, Cassandra? Why is it important for this week? What happens after this week when it's the Elite 8? Where do you go from the Elite 8?
To the semifinals.
To the semifinals, also known as?
The week before the final.
If you go from the Elite 8 to what? What happens when you win the Elite 8? Where do you go?
The final.
The Final Four. What's significant about the Final Four in the Muscle Bracket, in the Muscle League?
Everybody gets money.
Everybody gets money. It's true. So if you win teams in the Elite 8 of the Muscle Bracket, the regular playoff bracket, If you win this week, you are guaranteed at least $50. All 4 members of the Final Four get $50, and then from there, they earn more money, basically. Put it that way. We'll divvy all that stuff up. We'll be talking about that next week. We're going to get your Christmas stimulus out, folks. We did it last year. We'll do it again this year. So some people might be getting some extra money in their stockings. Didn't know about it. We'll talk to you later.